Hello friends, good morning. I am Mksrinivas here. I'm just going ahead with this seminar topics on revocation, e-contracts and temporary injunction. In that I had completed by now the revocation. Now e-contracts, that is electronic contracts. Introduction. E-contracts are electronic contracts can be defined as contracts formed by interaction of two or more individuals through the use of electronic means. The only extra element they have is that the contract takes place through a digital mode of communication like internet. When we purchase goods from e-commerce website like Flipkart, Amazon or Mantra by use of internet or other network which is by digital means and called e-contracts. If a person receives an offer through an email and accepts it by return mail, resulted in e-contract without paper documents using electronic media. Example, when we buy something from any e-commerce website or when we give our acceptance by use of email. Then an electronic contract is by kind of contract formed in course of e-commerce by the interaction of two or more individuals using electronic means, such as email. The interaction with an electronic agent such as computer program or the interaction of at least two electronic agents that are programmed to recognize the existence of a contract. The Uniform Computer Information Transactions Act provides rules regarding the formation, governance and basic terms of e-contract. Traditional contract principles and remedies are also available to e-contracts. This is also known as electronic contract. Some contracts, depending on their subject matter, are governed by specialized areas of contract of law that address the specific needs of certain bargaining relationships. An important subset exists in the commercial contracts. Now, I'm bringing out a schematic diagram of e-contracts, wherein e-commerce is the platform, cyberspace is the space which is available for mutual assent, and this law e-contracts is governed by Information Technology Act 2000 in addition to Contracts Act 1872. Then cyberspace, as you know, it's a uniform computer information. Then it needs a digital signature, and as you know, Copyright Infringement Act is also there. Copyright Act of 1956 is also applicable. Then minimum contact theory, that theory we are going to express in detail afterwards. Now section 11 of Consumer Protection Act 1886 is also applicable on these contracts. See, when we come to e-contracts, acceptance and terms conditions is the criteria. So we can divide the e-contracts into 5 major topics. One is shrink wrap contracts. The terms and conditions after using the product is important. Then click wrap contracts, user consent through OK or I accept buttons. Browse wrap contracts, the terms and conditions on a separate page it will come. There we have to click and accept the terms and conditions. Now other types we have electronic data interchange, that is EDI, and email contracts. Computer exchange of business is coming under this electronic data interchange and email contracts. Browse wrap contracts is the third place, and click wrap contracts and shrink wrap contracts. These major 3 types, as you know, it is always the acceptance of terms and conditions is the criteria in dividing the e-contracts. Now I have come up with a small slide that you can easily remember to write in the examinations. That is by a schematic diagram. E-contracts divided by shrink wrap contracts, click wrap contracts, browse wrap contracts, and 2 other types of contracts I have put in one box, that is electronic data interchange and email contracts. Now, so far as shrink wrap contracts are concerned, it is a place where licensed agreements and other terms and conditions which can only be read and accepted by consumer after opening or using the product. Usage for opening the product is acceptance of the contract. Now, example, opening of any software purchase online deemed to be acceptance of the contract. Now, I just come up with the explanations of these 5 types of contracts. That is basically a very important one. See, so far as shrink wrap contracts are concerned, these are licensed agreements and other terms and conditions which can be read and accepted by consumer after opening or using the product. Usage for opening the product is acceptance of the contract. Now, very second contract, as I told you, that is click wrap contracts. These contracts are that contracts which requires the user consent through I accept or OK button. The user must accept the terms use of software or terms online purchased through e-commerce website. There are 2 types of click wrap contracts, that is type and click, and the other one is icon clicking. See, what is this type and click? In this case, the user must type accept or other specified words that then click submit. Now, icon clicking, in this case, user must click on OK and I agree or similar icon for acceptance of the contract. Now, I have come up with the differences between the e-contracts and the traditional contracts. See, if in e-contracts, the domain of the contract is cyberspace. In traditional contract, it takes place in a real world, 2-side deal face to face. Law governing are Contracts Act 1872, Information Technology Act 2000 for e-contracts, whereas Indian Contract Act 1872 is applicable on traditional contracts. Coming to e-contracts, the form of contract has changed electronically. Now, traditional contracts are either oral or in writing. Then e-contracts, parties to contract are organizing the intermediary and addressees. Parties to contract are promisee and promisor. Now, rights and obligation, information obligations and protection policy applicable to e-contracts, whereas traditional contracts are parties who are parties who have the contact on time and parties are obliged to pay consideration. Now, coming to next difference, complicated performance, net payment by debit card or credit card, it is very complex. Traditional contracts are not complex, it is simple and agreements. Now, different operational ambit and it is borderless e-contracts and it is restricted by traditional boundaries, as you know. Then email agreements in website, letter registered documents, oral or written communication. Speedier and convenient and efficient is e-contract. Time consuming is traditional contract. Types of e-contracts are shrink wrap, click wrap and browse wrap, and other types, as you know, that EDI and email. The traditional contracts are only 2 types, that is express contracts and implied are 2 types of traditional contracts. Now, I have come to an end of this first video on the e-contracts, wherein